All right, everybody, we have Chase here. Just a reminder to use the raise your hand function. We'll call on you, and we'll start with Brian Bacco.
Hey, Chase. Now that you've got 10 games with Mike Tomlin, what's something that has surprised you about him, or maybe just something you didn't expect out of your head coach?
I think the most surprising thing is like how he keeps his energy consistent throughout each week, no matter who we're playing or no matter what's going on that week. He always keeps his level of energy the same. So I think that's kind of what I like most about him.
All right, let's go to Brooke Pryor.
Hey, Chase, excuse me. When you look at Ben, what about him makes him the most valuable to this team? And does he deserve maybe some recognition or to be in contention for a league MVP award, at least through 10 games this season?
Yeah, no doubt. I think his ability to kind of make things up as he goes on the fly and adjust on the fly. He's kind of creating his own plays based off what he sees from the defense. And I think that's, very unique. And he might be the only one who's been able to do that this year successfully because more than half our points come from when he's calling the shot. So.
Does it
Christopher Carter?
Does it surprise you that he's never received a single MVP vote in his 17-year career?
Yeah, it's definitely surprising, especially being around him, especially throughout this season and how special it's been. And a lot of that credit goes to him and what he's done for the offense. So it is surprising.
Christopher Carter?
Chase, you keep finding ways to get behind defenses, but you're also finding ways to beat them with underneath routes. You got an out route where you in your mid-turn and you're already looking for the football as it's coming, but you're also not even looking at defenders. You slap his jam hand away. How much of that is something that you naturally brought with you to this team, and how much of that has been cultivated in just working with this receiver group and your coach, Ike Hiller?
Yeah, I think Ike has done a really good job at, trying to sharpen up the fine details. And, a lot of that is, I brought some of it in, but in college I didn't really face a lot of press coverage. So a lot of that has been learning through either the scout defense, our defense, or just opponent defense and how to beat different defenses.
Mike Prizzuta?
Jason, we talked with Ben Roethlisberger yesterday after the game. He referenced the interference calls you're drawing down the field, and he told us the interference is good, but the touchdown would be okay too. Has he spoken with you at all about maybe, fighting through that kind of stuff and staying with the play a little longer as opposed to maybe reacting to draw a call?
Yeah. He says that after every PI. So it's like, definitely makes sense. And definitely it's something that, that I'm trying to work on, just getting through some of those PI calls, but some of them, as you could see from yesterday's game, you just can't fight through a tackle sometimes. So, I'm happy to know that he can throw it up and it's either a catch or a PI, other than that one that hit me in the face. So,
Aditi Kinkabala?
Chase, yesterday you tweeted that you love this team. In any ordinary year, you're sitting down to lunch with guys, you're throwing balls into garbage cans in the locker room, you're arguing as you walk out of the shower. You don't get to do any of that. So how have you built chemistry, and how do you actually know these guys?
Yeah,
so you love them?
Yeah, so I think it's super cool how everyone looks out for everyone, and coming into the league, all my former teammates from Notre Dame who were in the league were like, the camaraderie. How do you say that word? Camaraderie. You could type it up for me, but it's not the same in the league. It's kind of like a little cutthroat. But that's not what I got from this team. Joe Haden has taken me under his wing, just as an example of a vet. Al, Pouncey, Ben have all taken me under their wing and showed me the ropes, and Ebron, all those guys. So I just think the brotherhood on this team is different than anyone in the league, and I can say that pretty confidently.
Alan Saunders?
Yeah, Jay, so about the pass interference stuff, have you noticed the officiating standard being different coming to the NFL for the first time compared to what you had in college? And do you feel like is it different for you as a rookie compared to a more established guy?
Yeah, I definitely watch some of these games, and you know, I see these guys get like PI'd, and then a flag doesn't come out, and then they like, if it's like no specific receiver, but like a Pro Bowl receiver, and they just like throw their hands up, they can get a call here or there. So I'm gonna try that. Probably not this year, but maybe down the road there a little bit.
Jeff Hathorn.
Chase, you mentioned Joe Haden helping you out. How important was that perspective to get from him as a corner on things you can do as receiver?
Yeah, in camp, you know, in camp he tweeted out some pretty cool things, and then, you know, between plays in camp, he would just say like, "Oh, this is what I was looking at. Like, this is why I broke the way I did," or if I did a good route, he'd be like, "Oh, that's a good route." So I would just come back to that at another point. So just little tips, ways he can sneak in advice. He always does that, which is has been helpful.
LB Oxenrider.
Hi, Chase. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You are the first receiver in the Super Bowl era to have 10 touchdown passes in his first 10 games of a career. I know you believe in yourself, and I know that everybody coming out of college, especially in the high rounds, think that they can make an impact. But are you surprised in any way by the success that you've had so early in your career?
Yeah, like early, this much for sure. You know, you never really are able to picture something like this. But you know, I expected to have success in the career just based off like training and kind of how I felt about myself and my preparation. But definitely thought the transition would have been a little bit longer for sure.
Thank you.
Chris Adamski.
Chase, kind of sort of along those lines. Did you form a camaraderie, using that word again, with the other draftable wide receivers throughout the process? Do you still keep in touch with them? Do you measure yourself against them, even if you do have a good relationship? Say, hey, this guy was taking X amount of picks ahead of me, a round ahead of me, whatever it is, and I want to make sure I'm the best rookie, or measure myself with your entire career. Is that part of what you do?
Yeah, I was able to train with some of those guys. Ayuk and then Pittman, I was training with those guys primarily, and then Cole Kmet, I was training with him. And then the guys who I wasn't able to train with and who were just in my class as receivers, I like to see them do well. The guys on my Senior Bowl team, I just like seeing people in my class do well, because you kind of feel a sense of like togetherness, I guess, because you went through this process together, especially this unique process. So yeah, definitely trying to stick together in that aspect. I just forgot the second half of the question, but.
Chris, did you get what you need?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you're gonna measure yourself against them too throughout your.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I don't really compare stats that much. If I'm comparing anything, it's team records. So, and that speaks louder than stats, in my opinion. So, I've got all of them so far, and we'll see how the rest of the season plays out.
All right, we got some time for follow-ups. Brooke Pryor.
Yeah, Chase, you mentioned the brotherhood that you guys have in the Steelers locker room. I noticed that Eric Ebron has made some cameos in your recent TikToks. Is he a guy that you've formed a good relationship with, and what does his energy bring to this locker room on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think everyone has a good relationship with Ebron. You know, people on TikTok love him, so I gotta give him what they want. And yeah, I think his energy has really kind of helped the team get closer and closer together. He's probably the funniest dude on our team, so it's good having that energy around.
Brian Becko.
Yeah, Chase, now that you guys are playing the Ravens again, last time around a few weeks ago, did you hear or see that Des Bryant was apparently the guy that was playing you on scout team for them?
Yeah, no, I saw that on like a Twitter video or something. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, obviously the Ravens are showing respect in that sense. So, you know, I won't be able to sneak by them. So just got to prepare in that sense, but I did see that.
Aditi.
Chase, I'm going to go back to what I asked you earlier when you talked about the brotherhood. You were very specific in explaining how Joe has mentored you. How are you creating the fun stuff, though? You know, if you don't get to hang out in the locker room, you don't have lunch together, how do you actually create that brotherhood? How do you get to know each other?
Yeah, so we're able to play spike ball. That's like our best social distance game that we can play. So we play spike ball, and then everyone in the locker watches and like cheers on the side. And then we're getting cornhole in the locker room, so that'll be another game that we play. So we just try to figure out some things to do that, that's along the guideline, but we can, communicate with each other, compete against each other, and like have fun and joke around with each other. So spike ball has been a pretty big thing too.
Chase, I'm really sorry. I'm a lot older than you. What's spike ball?
Spike ball is like a mini volleyball game. And
Okay.
yeah. It's hard to explain, but mini volleyball.
So you are allowed, even with the intensive protocols, as long as you're masked and whatever, you're still allowed to hang in the locker room a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been playing prior to that throughout this whole time. And then as this intensive protocol kind of happened, we weren't really able to play. So that's why we're bringing cornhole in, because, it's obviously a lot further away. So we had to switch up the game.
Okay, and then last one. Do you feel like you're a little cheated, though, that you don't get that togetherness in the locker room, that you guys are 10-0, you're whatever, and there's a piece of that that's missing?
Most definitely, yeah. Obviously, when you're going 10-0, like, you want to be able to enjoy every minute of the season, and we're not able to do that because of things that we have to, forego. But, it's a unique experience and memories that we won't forget. So, it's tick for tack, really.
All right, we got time for two more. We'll go back to Alan Saunders.
Chase, you talked about maybe being a little bit surprised by your success, but you came into the league as a bigger receiver anyway. How do you feel? Do you feel like your ability to match up with guys physically at this level, has that surprised you at all, or did you feel like you would be able to do that?
Oh, no, I definitely thought I was going to do that. Just, watching game film and looking at corners in the league and their measurables, like, I knew I was going to measure up physically, and if there's a corner bigger than me, then damn. But I was expecting that to be good.
Last one, we'll go back to Jeff Hathorn.
Chase, did you celebrate American Thanksgiving? And is this a big game for you? Is this a cool night for you to be on a primetime stage on Thanksgiving?
I've never celebrated it before, obviously coming to the States. So Notre Dame, I would celebrate it within my dorm, or the team would celebrate it before we went on the road. I'm going to try to celebrate it this year. I'm going to try to make my own turkey dinner. So maybe a YouTube video will be coming up or something. But definitely excited to play on Thanksgiving.
All right. Thanks, Chase. Thanks, everybody.